The new TX12 for the Berghwing V2. It's new from the FR Sky X Lite we had before. What I like about this is its portability, its size, its rigidity. It isn't an El Cheapo option, although it is more affordable than some of your bigger units. It's a nice compromise, and we feel there's some really cool upgrades in it. We're going to go through some of the basics here today and what you need to understand about it if you want to fly your V2. All right, so turning it on, you've got to hold and press down the on button, and the splash screen of OpenTX will come up. So it's basically running the same protocol as any FR Sky gear, you know. So any of your previous Berghwings that you've had before, whether you had the MK2 or the MK2.1, they've both been running the same protocol. So if you have one of them sitting in your workshop or you're in your muse with your birds, you can interchange them. Okay, they're all going to work together. The first thing we notice, I've just got you're able to name it. I've got RSE here for Royal Shaheen. But basically, you've obviously got your throttle on your left hand. Okay, so this is your speed. And that's all you really need to know about the left toggle. Okay, on the right hand side you've got left, you've got right, you've got up is by pulling it back, and you've got down by pushing it forward. Okay, as far as the switches go, don't let them intimidate you. There looks like there's a whole bunch, but in fact there's two main switches that you need, and those two switches are these two at the top. Okay, what's pretty cool here, what I really like about it, it's they've labeled this A, B, C, D, E, F, and then S1 and S2. And when you go into the menu, it's really easy to see where those switches lie, okay, because they're labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, etc. You know, so that's pretty cool, and it makes it very user-friendly for people who are not used to all the different channels, and it can sometimes get a bit confusing in the mixing and stuff. So here it's been simplified, which makes it very cool to customize and do it your way. What I mean by customizing, in this particular version, so when you receive them, you're going to have on the left hand side and the right hand side, these two switches are the main ones. Okay, on the left hand side you've got in the full up position, so you've got all the way back, all the way down, and all the way up. Okay, and all the way down, this is an automatic launch mode. Then the middle position is stabilize. Okay, so you can make any maneuvers or any turns on the sticks. When you let it go, the wing is going to level out and be stable again. Okay, so that's in the middle position, and the same applies. So the same rule applies, and the same feature is there on the top position. So that is also stabilize mode. So you've really got stabilize, and then automatic launch. Okay, now what I've done that, so I've programmed that switch in the middle position to be stabilize. Okay, it comes from the factory with being in the middle position for acrobatic mode. Okay, so that's where all the stabilizers have been removed, and you can do barrel rolls, flips, etc. But in our case, the Berghwing, the V2 in particular, is designed for training falcons. Okay, and we don't need to have acrobatic mode. I think it just causes more problems than it causes good. So that's been removed, and you've now got stabilizer in the top, stabilizer in the middle, and automatic launch in the bottom position. Okay, we move over to the right hand side, which I've color coded as yellow, and this particular switch, it serves one feature and one purpose only, and that is for circle mode. Okay, so especially for a lot of the Western and European guys, when they fly, they're flying single-handedly, and what it's nice to do is get your wing up, get it away from you, and then when you engage circle mode, what happens, the wing will rotate or will loiter, go around and around in a circle at that location where you flick the switch. So that then allows them to pick up their bird, unhood them, release them, and then get back on the sticks to fly them. By disengaging the circle mode, the wing just flattens out, levels, and just keeps going in a straight line. Okay. Now, one more point I want to bring to your attention is that the automatic launch position, all right? So the automatic launch, which is all the way down, once you're up and you're flying and your Berghwing is zooming around, when you engage the launching mode again, what that will do, it will second as a return to home switch. So the wing will turn around and it will fly back to you and then circle above your head. Okay, so the automatic launch serves as two purposes. Launch mode, which it takes off by itself, it turns around and then orbits around your head. Okay, it also acts as a return to home function if your wing is absconding, it's flying away, and or you just want some help so that it's easy for it to come back to you. And then the third and final switch you need to know about is the S2 switch, which is on the side. It's positioned here because I feel it's easy to access, and this is your servo release. Okay, so through the new exhaust release system we have on the V2, when you flick the switch down, it opens the servo up and it will release the lure. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to the wing and I'll show you the functions of how this all works on the wing next. I'm just going to show you inside here on the bench some of the basics to look at and think about. What we need is a battery. Okay, so we'll grab a battery here. First thing we do, whether you are inside, whether you're outside, whether you're in the flying field, wherever you are, the first thing we do is we turn on the handset first. The remote control, the TX, these are all terms that we refer to the radio as. So this is always something you turn on first. Okay, now what I'm going to show you here is when you turn it on, okay, if any of your switches or sticks are in the position they shouldn't be, like here we've just got a throttle warning. Okay, what that means is your throttle's up, so then put your throttle to 0. Okay, now we're getting a switch warning, so that means SB is in the way, SC is in the way, and then we've got SE is in the way. Okay, so once they're all away from you and in the down position, okay, then you know the handset is ready to go. Well, the handset is ready to go, A, but B, it's ready now for you to plug your wing in. Okay, so often you see guys, they plug their wing, their aeroplane, their drone, whatever in first, and then they go and switch on their handset or their radio. This is absolutely wrong. Okay, all sorts of things can go wrong in this scenario, so it's absolutely important that you switch your radio control on first. All right, next we go ahead and we plug our battery in. Okay, all right, now what's very important, guys, is for the wing, when you plug it in, okay, is that you want your wing to be on a level surface. Okay, it's the gyro and the what it understands to be level is preset, so that's not what we're doing here. But if your wing is moving around, okay, and you plug it in, so for example you're carrying it around and then you plug it in at the same time, this confuses the stabilizer. Okay, and then when you launch it, it's sort of stabilizing all funny. So it's very important that whether you're inside, whether you're outside, whether you at your flying field again, just put it on the ground. It doesn't even need to be a level surface. Okay, just put it down and flat so that it's not moving, and then plug your machine in. Okay, this will give you the best results, and then the stabilizer will wake up, the autopilot will wake up, and it already knows what level is. We've set that, and I'll demonstrate how we do that. And when would you need to reset the flat level mounting? It's called flat level mounting, and it's basically a level which the autopilot understands to level the machine back to. Okay, and in the scenario or the case of a big crash, so you hit the ground really hard and you shake up those gyros inside the autopilot. After that, typically you probably want to redo a flat level mounting and reset recalibrate what is level, recalibrate the brain of the machine to understand, okay, that is level again, all right? Now, what I want to walk through now quickly is to show you how it all functions and works in this case. And what you've got is left, right, up, and down. Okay, so when you turn the machine left, you'll see the left aileron will lift. Okay, when you turn right, you will see that the right aileron lifts. When you pull it back, this is for climbing, you will see both of the ailerons lift. Now, when you push the stick down, this is for diving, okay, and then you'll see both of the ailerons will drop. Now, what's very important is before every single flight that you take is to plug the machine in, get it all set up, and then do a pre-flight check, okay, and see that all your control surfaces, these surfaces, what we mean by control surfaces, that your control surfaces are moving in the direction that they should, okay? Now, the next thing you can do is when in stabilized mode, okay, which is all the way up, you want to move the wing, and you can see that when you drop the left wing, you want the right aileron to lift, because that means it's compensating to bring the wing back. And vice versa, when you drop the nose, you want the ailerons to lift, therefore it's going to compensate it and get the wing level again, okay? These are just some procedures you can do before flying to make sure your wing and all its control surfaces are working properly, okay? Now, please note, we are in stabilized mode now, and when I give her throttle or power, she doesn't have any power. Why is that? Okay. There's a safety mechanism built into the machine, okay, which works in conjunction with the GPS antenna and the autopilot, okay. We are now inside a room. We're in my Falcon room, and at the moment the wing cannot get satellite because it's got a roof cover. When you engage the automatic launch, take note of the ailerons. Okay, you'll see they are twitching up and down. And basically this is your indication, this is your sign. Unfortunately, we don't have a blue light or a green light indicating when we've got satellites. But what we do have is our ailerons twitching and going up and down to tell us that satellites have now been found. Okay, so that's pre-flight check is pretty much done. For the automatic launch, the way that we do that, okay, is that we engage automatic launch, which is push the switch all the way down. We watch for the ailerons and we watch them twitching. Then we give the throttle 50%, okay, 50% on the throttle. We shake the Berghwing and then launch it above your head into the sky. It will climb to a height of 70 meters, then turn around, come back and circle above your head. Now, why is it going to circle above your head? Well, it's just the point at which it first acquired satellites. So that position where it first gets satellites is what it believes and it knows to be its home point. Okay. Now, next, when you look at the cockpit of the wing, all right, and when you move S2, which is this switch here, you will see how the pin moves, okay? So what that allows us to do is you take your exhaust rod, okay, which is a rod at the top of your parachute, okay, and you slide it up the back of the Berghwing, all right, and you eyeball it, okay. When it gets to the pin, you open it up, and then you can close it, okay, and there she's locked in place, all right. When the Falcon comes along and it grabs your lure at the back, you release the servo, and the parachute comes out the back, okay. And that's about all you need to know for the servo release, okay. And from time to time we may get a failure, okay. In that case, there's 4 screws. You undo the latch, swap out the servo, and you can fly again, okay. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and what we're going to be talking about next is your first flight and launching the Berghwing and getting it going. Thank you.